Woo! Did this cut out again? Oh no, there it is. All right, we're good. Hey guys, welcome back to Turbo Spool. My name is Eddie, and like you saw in the intro, yes, I am getting rid of the factory rear valance with the Maxim Design diffuser. I just don't like it. And it's not to put down Maxim Design. I actually think that they make some phenomenal looking stuff for the car. It's just that there's nothing else in the car that's Maxim Design, so that one piece just looks like it doesn't belong anywhere. So I'm actually going to take off the rear valance with that diffuser, and I'm just going to sell it. I'm going to replace that with, I'm sure you know, an ECS rear valance with the integrated rear diffuser. I think it looks much cleaner that way, and it's gloss black, so it's going to look the same color as all the other ground effects that are on the car from factory. And that is my objective with this car, essentially, to make it an OEM plus build. I've learned my lesson with age, and I am no longer going to be building a race car out of my daily driver. I've gotten to the point that I'm tired of needing my daily driver, but I have it up on jack stands because I'm in the middle of a project that went too long. I don't want to do that with this car. I just want to enjoy it and it be reliable. But that same philosophy now extends into the styling side, that I don't want something that stands out too much. I like subtleness. I like mods, but I want them to be subtle. So like the Maxim Design rear diffuser, I feel that in this car, it sticks out too much. So I'm gonna get rid of it, and I think this one is gonna look a lot more clean, a lot more like it's meant to be there. And that's the idea here. So number one, this is not a sponsored video. And number two, this is not a how-to video. There's plenty of that online. I'm just bringing you guys along with my experience on this to show you guys what I think, etc. And hopefully you guys like it. Hopefully I like it when it's installed. So let's see. Woo! Dang. All right, so there you have it. So that's the factory one here with the Maxim Design diffuser, and then this is the one from ECS. The one from ECS is definitely goes further in towards the front of the car than the factory one. Oh yeah, that's gonna look neat. Look at that compared to this one here that you saw earlier. All right, this does come with a film on it. That's why it looks a little bit bluish, hazy. You see the sticker here for peel here. There you go. So I'm going to peel that off right now before I go install it, because it'll probably be a lot harder to do when it's on the car. All right, guys, we got a problem. I can get the two. Woo! Okay, I can get the two center bolts to line up, no problem. But then with all the snappy things in place, I still can't get the two mounting screws at each end to line up. Like, they're not even close. I have two options. I can either take this off, put it back together, call ECS on Monday and see what we can do. Or I can just make this work and let them know what I ended up having to do to make this fit. I believe I am not the first person to have fitment issues with this particular diffuser. And I guess for the price, I can't really complain much. But for somebody that doesn't have the skill, I could see how this would just be like, nope, I can't go any further. But we're gonna make that work. Actually, I'm gonna try to capture on camera what it is that I'm talking about. Hopefully you guys can see it. Okay, I'm under the driver's side here. I'm gonna try to see if I can capture it for you guys. Let's see. There. You can kind of see, I know it's out of focus, but you can kind of see that you can see like a third of the hole there. And I can't push this any further to make it line up. And on the other side, you don't even see the hole at all. That's the situation that I have going on. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna go ahead and drill the holes into the bumper where I want the new bolts to go in. And I'll just do that, make this work. Yeah. I am not happy that I had to do this, but sometimes you gotta make stuff work. And this is where customizing comes in. By the way, if you ever have to do what I just did, like drill into a bumper, Make sure you don't have any wiring harnesses like your parking brake sensor harness or any of that stuff right behind it, because if you do, you're gonna be in a world of hurt when you find out that your parking brake sensors don't work because you drilled through the harness. So be careful with that. All right, and now I got this sitting exactly where I want it. And check that out. Now we're looking good. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull back the exhaust tip slightly, because notice how much more this actually sticks out than the factory one. So I'm going to at least make the barrels of the tips be level with this here. And you do that by basically putting a flat edge on the tips like this here, and then you bring it out until you're level with the valance. There you go. Now you see how these are looking compared to those that I haven't touched. That's what I wanted. I don't want them to stick out, but I do want them to be flush with the bumper. All right, guys, before we go into my final thoughts, I just want to throw out there that if you have a friend or an aunt, or an uncle, or a parent, or somebody that you have not checked up on in a while, go ahead and do that. I know you've been thinking about it. I know that you've been meaning to do it and then you forget, etc. Go ahead and do it. Like, it doesn't take that long. Something that's not a big deal to you might be a big deal to that other person. So just do it. You never know what that other person is going through. And they, just having someone calling and checking up on them might make their day. So give it a shot. Okay, so final thoughts here. I'm on the fence on this one. On one side, it looks incredible. I absolutely love what it looks like. It is exactly what I wanted, which was a more aggressive version of the factory one that still looked like it would have been from factory. I think this nails it. And it goes really well with the ECS catback that's on it. It just altogether, it looks amazing. I'm very happy with it. So that's one side. But on the other side, fitment issues. And I know I'm not the first one to have fitment issues with this, but I figured some of the videos that I saw online about it were so old. So I said, okay, maybe they figured it out by now and they rectified it with the vendor that makes it in case it's not them that makes it, and they got it going now. Well, clearly that wasn't the case, because I have 1/4 of an inch of a gap between the front edge of the bumper and where this valance actually starts. I don't think that's cool. They should have figured that out by now, because other YouTubers have called them out on it, and that's still going on. Not only that, other YouTubers also mentioned that they had alignment issues with these mounting screws up in the front. I know some of them had to use zip ties. I wanted to use the proper hardware that was provided, and so I decided to go ahead and just drill new holes into my bumper so I can use that stuff. So obviously I'm not happy about that. I think that ECS should have definitely caught on to this by now and fixed it by now, because this is not a new product, and this complaint has been around for about, what, 4 or 5 years now, and it's still going on. Now, with that said, it also has to do with you as the buyer, your expectations. Had I known that I had to do this work in order to make this fit, I still would have done it. Honestly, I still would have done it, but it would have been nice to have had that heads up. And I guess that, yes, I did have the heads up by watching other videos on this with that complaint. I just assumed I wouldn't have to, because it had been so long that the product's been out, blah, 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 blah. But anyway, it wasn't that bad. The instructions they provide are actually spot on, minus the fact that these mounting holes are not gonna line up. So expect that, and expect to either use zip ties, double-sided tape, or do what I did and just push it forward as much as you can and just make new holes for the hardware, and you'll be good to go. If this gap is okay with you, as it is with me, then this thing's gonna be perfect. I'll give it a 9 out of 10 on that one, because it's clearly not perfect, but I think the end result, and going into it with the expectation that you're gonna have to do some work to make it fit, I think that for the price, it knocks it out of the ballpark. I'm really happy with this at the end of the day. But ECS, please, fix this so that other people don't have to do what all these people on YouTube, and myself included, have had to do. This is an easy fix. The mold is bad. Come on, ECS, you can do better. I know you can do great stuff, because that catback from you guys is the best sounding catback that I've ever heard on an MQB, number one. And number two, installation was a breeze. The fitment was perfect. So I know you're capable of doing better. Let's do better about this. With that said, guys, thank you so much. And thank you for sticking around and watching me do all these little things on my car. I know that not all of them are going to be big installations or whatnot, but man, little by little, this is my daily driver. Little by little, I'm doing stuff here and there, and I'm bringing you guys along with me. I do appreciate that. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon.